name is Eliza-Jane Scott, and I'm the director of Les Belles Soeurs. So Les Belles Soeurs is about a woman named Germaine Lauzon who lives in Montreal in 1965, and she wins a whole bunch of stamps, and she can get all sorts of products with her million stamps. It'd be similar to at the Metro nowadays. They have these new stamp booklets where you can get silverware and flatware if you collect the stamps. It's kind of the same idea. It was big in the 50s and 60s. So Germaine wins all these stamps. It's a lot of stamps, and so she decides to invite her neighbours and her sisters over for a stamp pasting party so she can get these items sooner than later. It's an opportunity to see the lives of these women in 1965 Montreal. When Montreal was going through a huge cultural revolution, the Quiet Revolution, where the power was being wrested from the Catholic Church and given to public institutions. And so it's a real fight between young and old, new generation and old generation, and how women who are victims, because these women are from a really rough part of town, and it's how women who are victimized by their situations and by people in their lives, how they take their victimization out on other people that they love. So it's sort of about the circle of violence and how that progresses, and it shows us a lot about these women, these relationships between these women, and how intricate and difficult and joyous and funny they also are. So the message of this play is still relevant today because we still live in the country we live in, and feminism is still being explored and expressed in new ways. So our most recent Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau, has opted for gender parity in his cabinet. And we're still at that stage where we have to make sure that minorities and women get a fair say in the House. Although we've come a long way in terms of equality, there's still quite a long way to go as well. For me, as an artist, and an artist who's a female, a director and an actor and a writer, it's important for me to do stories about women, because when I turn on the TV, I see no stories about women except for Desperate Housewives, which doesn't really represent my ideas and intellect and things that I want to see reflected in my society. The cast and I embarked upon a massive research project about everything that was happening in Canada, in North America, Europe, Catholic Church, and in Montreal, and for women at the time. I kind of felt it was a really great opportunity to learn about how far we've come as a culture. So that's why I wanted to keep it set there, because I could have set it now in Rockville, on the other side of the tracks in a rough part of town, but I wanted to explore that period of time because it was such a big event in Quebecois culture, in Quebecois theatre, so I wanted to pay tribute to that period. And it's really, our costume designer and our set designer has done a remarkable job at recreating an idea or an essence of what it might be during that time. And I also love the connection between the actors in this play. The actors in this show have done a really incredible job at discovering a very difficult play to do. 15 women on stage at the same time, and managing storylines and through lines and emotional depth and requirement in this play is huge. So watching these actors go at it and go full bore, there's nothing subtle about this play. Be prepared. There's language, there's violence, there's alcohol, there's everything. There's much joy and laughter as well. But that's the thing I think you'll be most excited about seeing, is how these actors interact with each other and how they engage fully in their relationship.